In this video, guys, I'm going to be showing you how you can make coins using Futbin. Maybe you already know what Futbin is, and maybe you just use Futbin to make SBC solutions, maybe just to check a player's price. But in this video, I'm going to break down Futbin so you guys can make coins and maybe become a better trader. So the very first thing I want to break down, guys, regarding the Futbin website is going to be this tab called Market. And also there's sub-tabs in that: auctions, index 100, index special. So I'm going to cover a couple of these so you guys can generally understand. I'm not going to cover every single one, but I just want to show you what it necessarily means. So firstly, what is the market? So basically it just gives you like an overall perspective of how that market is doing at that given week, that given day. Is the market low? Is there a lot of coins on the market? Are players expensive? Are players not expensive? So the very first one I want to break down is index 100. Of course, you've got the live graph, which basically just shows you sort of how the market is doing in a specific day period. So of course, I'm recording this on the 2nd of February. So this is just sort of representing today. So the highest it's been, of course, is 47.88, which is near, night time, which normally happens. Like the market generally goes to go up overnight because, of course, there's less cards on the market. But we're going to just look at the daily graph. So, of course, when the game first came out on the 23rd, 24th, you could see the market was very high. And because people want to build teams, people, they've got little coins, they want to build teams and, of course, play the game. So, as of now, the market is at 45.64, which is on the 1st of... The last time the market has been this low was around about the 10th to the 12th of January. And that, of course, was coming back off of Team of the Year. And over the last couple of weeks or so, there's been a very good increase and then a sort of a drop and a sort of a stagnant. And of course, what this represents, guys, is an opportunity to buy players. Maybe, when the market was this slow, you could possibly pick up a player, maybe an inform or just in general gold cards, meta cards that of course people use at the weekend league, and maybe hold on and hold on for a week or two and sell. And of course, I know what you're going to say, guys. Well, how do I know that is an opportunity to buy? When the market is this low, you can sort of look at this and you could be like, right, okay, the market has been pretty low for a week or two. Like it's 43.15 here, but it was only like a week or two ago. It was around about 48, 49. So you know that maybe a new promo or something that will inject coins onto the market, then the market will generally go up. And this is obviously a general view of the market. So some players may be down from a couple of weeks ago, some players may be up, but just as a general sort of view, the market is up because of course it went from 43 to 54 and it's a little bit down to 45. So I'm going to show you an example of some players that obviously impacted off that and see what profit margins you could potentially make. So the first example I want to show you guys is going to be Neymar. And I want to show you sort of how much those cards were at its lowest point of the market over the past few weeks, which of course was around the 8th to the 12th of January. So what you can do on Futbin, guys, is when you look at a player's price, you can sort of look back at the last previous weeks. And of course, you've probably already done that. You can sort of set a time frame. So what I've done is set a time frame from the January the 8th to the 1st of February. So as you can see, the lowest he's sort of been over the last couple of weeks leading up to the first week of January, which of course was Team of the Year, because I think Team of the Year maybe come out the 7th. I'm not too sure. I can't really remember. But he was around about 700,000 coins. And as you can see, right now his peak throughout this month is 788,000. So guys, you may be thinking, right, Ben, how do I know when to buy a card? How do I know that market may not get lower? So the first thing I like to sort of think about is look at the market. I showed you those sort of price, sort of those points of when was the last time the market was this low. And what normally happens is, guys, is that when the market has been low for a considerable amount of time, maybe a week or two, like I showed you a little bit earlier, then there may be like a promo coming up or a weekend league that will just inject some coins into the market so a player's price goes higher. So yeah, just look. If you picked up Neymar here for 700,000 coins, maybe you played with him for a couple of weeks because you knew he was far too low. You could end up selling him for 788,000. Yes, you've only made around about 50, 60k. But that's 50, 60k just from buying a player, kept playing him for a couple of weeks, etc. Maybe you've bought a whole team like that. You've bought meta players like Mbappe, and suddenly you made 500 or 600k. So maybe when you've seen like a player that has been stagnant or the market has been low for a considerable amount of time, when I mean a considerable amount of time, maybe 1 to 2 weeks, then maybe you can pick up a card or your team and then just wait a couple of weeks to see if that player goes up or your general team goes up because of the market just generally increasing because there's been coins or promo being put onto the market. So the next sort of market sort I want to break down is going to be the index special. So basically what the index special is, of course, what Futbin have done, they've sort of, put them into categories. So this is strictly with informs or / special cards. So as you know, guys, if you look on my channel, that I like to delve into special card trading. I like to, buy players in Hunters and Shadows and sell them for a profit. So we're just going to look at a brief overview of what the index special is currently looking like. So if we go to today, well, it's yesterday, 1st of February. Of course, this is like delayed by a day. The score was 97.07. It was only a week ago or so, there was 104. So as you can see, that in general, the index market has gone down. Maybe that's been for a couple of reasons. Of course, Future Stars has been dropped, so people have been panicking. But I just want to go back to the date again that I showed you a little bit earlier on, and that is the 12th, the 10th or 12th of January. And as you can see, it is very low. But as you can just see here, like the last week leading up to it, it was pretty stagnant. It fluctuated between 86, 87, 85, 86 one day, 86 one day, and that was for about a week or so. And I think that was because, of course, Team of the Year was around about then, so people were panic selling their cards to maybe try and buy some Team of the Year cards. And then, of course, once Team of the Year finished, because you've got to think, guys, when people are buying, buying packs for Team of the Year, I know people are selling their cards to get coins, but at the end of Team of the Year, people have got coins because they've been opening packs. Maybe you spent 200 quid on the game, which obviously the idea of this channel is to help you guys not spend £200 on the game. But you get what I mean. People open packs, so they get coins. And as you can see, it just starts to climb. After the 12th of January, it just sort of starts to climb. It hits 96.5, which is quite high. And then it hits 102. And it's sort of stagnant for a week, and it goes up to 104.93. And then it sort of comes down. But the thing I like about this page, it sort of gives you like a what's been going down in the inform market, what's been going on up on the inform market. So of course I play on PlayStation. So if you play Xbox, you can sort of just filter it down down to what is specific to you, what console you play. So if we look at that, so in the past day I think this is, Hakim Ziyech has dropped to 9% for whatever reason that is. Maybe it is because of an objective. I'm pretty sure there was an objective that required maybe an Ajax player, not required an Ajax player, but it was an Ajax player, and therefore there was a link. So Ziyech has gone down. Sal's gone down. Alonso's gone down. But on the other side, you've got Rufier's gone up 15%. Szczesny's gone up 12%. Mahrez has gone up 12%. So if you can sort of identify why these cards have gone down for whatever reason it is, maybe, as I said, Ziyech, there was an objective that required a player, so Ziyech would go up because he's got a very good strong link, for example. Then maybe you could purchase this card and see if he goes up. And this is the market momentum. At the moment, it's 63%. It's saying the market is moving, is starting to move fast. So that is saying that the market is doing pretty well, pretty much. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm actually going to show you an example of a player that was here at 86.35, and to see how much his price was around here and how you can make coins off it. And I just want to show you, an example why, just you guys can sort of understand more. But also, a question you guys may be thinking, so when do I begin to buy these players? And, I'm going to sort of reference it quite weirdly in a way. So think about you're going to a party, right? The party is at 7 o'clock. You don't turn up to the party at 6:30 or dead on at 7 o'clock. So what I'm necessarily saying, you don't buy your cards at the lowest point in the market, because at the end of the day, you don't know whether that is the lowest point. Maybe the market can go lower, but you will lose coins if that's the case. So what you do is you turn up at the party at maybe 8:30, 9:30, 10 o'clock. So it's, it started to get going, but it hasn't reached these peaks. So the reference I was trying to make pretty much is that when you see it to start to climb a little bit, that's when you pick up your players that you wanted. Maybe let the market go up that couple of percent. So if a player's 150k and he jumps up to 155k, maybe buy your players then, because then at least it's better to be late to the party than to be too early. Because of course, if I buy here and it goes down to like 80 points, then you've lost coins. But if it's an 86 and then the next day it's 88 or 89 like it was here, then you get my gist. You can obviously, it's better to be a little bit late and a little bit too early to the party. So I hope you sort of get that reference. So I hope you guys enjoyed my analogy regarding that. Of course, you'd rather be a little bit too late to buying cards than too early. So I hope you guys sort of understood that. So the example I want to show you regarding a player that was very low at that point of between 8th and 12th of January on the inform market is Kevin De Bruyne. So again, on Futbin, you can set it to a sort of a daily graph and an hourly graph. And what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to set this to the 8th of January 2020 and just sort of show you his pricing graph once coins got injected onto the market. So the thing you've got to bear in mind with Kevin De Bruyne is that Kevin De Bruyne was in the team of the year. So this is probably one of the reasons why his price was so low, as well as the market in general just being low, because people were selling their cards because of team of the year. So team of the year, I think, was the 7th of January. Maybe someone confirm that for me if possible. But he was around about 265,000 coins. So for me, 265,000 coins for an informed Kevin De Bruyne, considering he's gold was like 180k or 200k, is very, very low indeed. And I think that was contributed, as I said, because of the fact that team of the year, Kevin De Bruyne was in pack. So people were trying to panic sell his other specials because of the fact they had a team of the year. Well, anyway, once team of the year finished, as I was saying, that cards seem to just generally go up because, of course, people are opening packs. So it does mean that people, even though they are selling cards, they are getting coins in return. So they are going to buy their teams. So in general, the weeks leading up to after team of the year, the market would generally go up. And as you can see, his low was 265k, but he ends up just slowly climbing. Like, he was here for maybe a couple of days or so, and he dropped down a little bit down. But as the weeks go on and people, weekend leagues go on, a couple of weekend leagues were between this price point and this price point. People are getting coins from weekend league. They're buying their teams. He hits a high of 370,000 coins, and that is his peak over the last couple of weeks. And of course, he dropped down to around about 342, and he's sort of, dropping down and then stagnating around about 340,000 coins. So again, what can you do here? So again, when you look at the price, the graph and the market graph, the special graph, you want to be looking at meta players. You want to maybe be looking at informed Ben Yedder, informed Kevin De Bruyne, informed Sergio Aguero. Cards that people use, some cards that are being used on weekend league, and maybe you can pick this card up again when there's a dip in the market, when there's maybe the market goes down to 45 points, you can maybe buy one of these cards, and that when there's a couple of weekend leagues down the line, he'll eventually climb up. So it's a very good opportunity, sort of an opportunity to buy at 265,000 coins and then maybe sell him a couple of weeks later 370,000 coins. But of course, you want to wait until there is, the market is low. And what that generally means is maybe there's a promo like Future Stars that takes coins off the market. Maybe there's a mid-icon SBC or an SBC that EA designed to take people's coins off the market. Maybe they do it relatively cheap, so people just, they buy cards, they sink their coins into SBCs, so the market goes down. So that's just something to bear in mind. The last market tool that I want to cover is, of course, the icon market, because the icon market is a separate market to your general specials. So as you can see here, guys, it's been pretty, pretty steady regarding the last couple of weeks. It's been around about 65 point something to around about 68, 67. But as you can see, around about the same time, which was the 10th of January, the 12th of January, the icon market was pretty low. It was only a 56.96, 58. And I think that was because of the icon SBC. So that when, the base icon SBC and people just opening base icons, and then they'll just sell them on. So of course the icon market was generally low, but of course the last couple of weeks it's been pretty stagnant. So again, it maybe if you can pick up icons, if they drop another SBC when the icon market is very low, then of course you may be able to sell it on for a lot larger profit in a couple of weeks down the line when the SBC goes, or when the market just steadily naturally climbs itself. So the final part of the video is something that I would like to cover, because it's actually my favorite way of making coins using Futbin. I've gone over all the market stuff, which is very good, but for me this is probably my favorite way of trading right now. And I want to show you just a couple of images on screen of some players that I've picked up over the last couple of days, just sort of show you that this method does work. So the example I'm going to be showing you is Virgil van Dijk. I have covered this method in a couple of previous videos, but if you haven't seen them or you don't understand, it's another opportunity for me to get my point across, just so you guys can understand a little bit more. So the first thing you want to do, of course, is just look at the graphs, and the graph just shows you so much data. You can go back, like if you do the daily graph, you can go back a couple of weeks, or if you just do the hourly graph, you can go back today, yesterday, and Friday, so a couple of days in advance. But how I do this, I actually look at today and yesterday. So if I look back at yesterday, Virgil van Dijk has been trading between 780,000 coins, so it looks like around about 840,000 coins, as low as 810 here, back down to 782,000 coins, and back up to 850,000 coins. And what does that show? That shows price fluctuation. That shows opportunity to buy a card at its low and sell it at its high. And I'm going to show you how to do it. So if we look at today, for example, Van Dijk's been trading all day at 840,000, 810,000. He went down to 795 here, and then 2 hours later, he went back up to 840,000 coins. he was stagnant for an hour or two, and come 6 o'clock, he was actually down at 750,000 coins. So I'm going to tell you what to do. If I see a Virgil van Dijk at 750,000 coins, the first thing I'll do is look at Futbin, and I'll look at this graph. How much has he been selling throughout the day? Has he been selling for less than 750,000 coins? Has he been selling for more? And then the first thing I'll do is there any open bids on Virgil van Dijk? Because if there's any Virgil van Dijk open bids, then we could possibly pick up this 750,000 coins for a bit cheaper, maybe 740,000, 730,000, whatever the price may be. But if there's no open bids, then I will just go with straight instinct. I will purchase that card for 750,000 coins, and then I will wait until there's a point in the market which is mainly overnight sales. So for me, I'm from the UK, so now of course what I normally do is before I go to bed, I would list everything up for 6 hours. So when I wake up in the morning for work, I will see whether they've sold, and of course if they don't sell, I can adjust my prices accordingly. But that's all you got to do, guys, with any kind of specials. Just look at players that are within your region. So if you've only got 100k, of course, you're not going to be able to trade with Virgil van Dijk. So maybe you want to be trading with cards that are 30 or 40k. See the price fluctuation on cards. Do they go up a couple of K each hour? So I'm going to show you another sort of a couple of examples, or an example that, you know, are maybe more suited to your budget. So the example I'm going to use here, guys, is the 87 cam Coutinho. I'm just going to show you, you know, again, what he was today, what he's been selling at today on his low kind of thing. So he is around about 300,000 coins. That is obviously a lot cheaper, but of course, guys, if you've got 100k, like I said, trade with players that are around about 40, 50k. If you've only got 200k, maybe trade with players that are 80k, 100k, so on. So the first thing, again, I would be doing is just looking at is today. So how much has Philippe Coutinho been selling today? So it looks like he's been selling for around about 290,000 coins, 270,000 coins all day. And as you can see, when it's approaching the sort of the overnights, he does seem to increase. So what would I be doing here? So it looks like his low is around about 265,000 here and 270,000 here. Yes, this is at 7 o'clock in the morning at one point, but also at 10 o'clock in the morning, he was 265,000 coins. So that just because it's the morning, maybe you can't get on, but the fluctuations are random. Every player will fluctuate in price, and it's just random. Some days he may fluctuate at 4 o'clock. Some days he may fluctuate at 8 or 9 o'clock at night. It's all different. But once you just sort of identify when a price point is low for that particular card, that's when you just want to sort of buy. So for 265,000 coins, again, the first thing I would do to see if there's any open bids of this Coutinho in a cam/striker role, and if there is any open bids at 265k, and that is the cheapest, can we pick this card up for 250,000 coins, 245,000 coins? Because we know this card has been roughly selling at 290,000 coins all day. So guys, that is going to be the end of the video. Any questions? I know the market sort of talk was probably a lot in, it's a lot of information to sort of understand, especially if you're watching my videos for the first time, or you're trying to look at Futbin in a different way, just to checking how much a player goes for, or just seeing what is the latest SB solution for a particular SBC. So guys, any questions, please comment down below, and I will get back to you and try and help you understand it more than you haven't already. So anyway, guys, if you like the video, please like it. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I'll check the next video. See you later.